Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Hi guys, this is Adil Shah with the second session of how to set up your Neuron flybarless system part 2. Now after installation you will see this master terminal with an option of basic and advanced. Once you're setting up your heli, you need to go into this option. The first screen will tell you and elaborate about things which we have covered in session 1. Again, you can read it and understand if you need to know anything else. Further elaboration is needed. Now second screen is regarding size of the heli. I'm using a 450, you should use yours. Anything above 700, like 800 size, use 700 for it. Sensor orientation, I'm using this orientation, so you should click on how you have mounted your flybarless system. The fourth screen is for the servos. I'm using a cheap 120 Hz GRT servos, nylon gears, so be careful of clicking on what servos you are using. In case you are using a higher frequency, you might burn it. For my rudder servo, I'm using a line 525 mg with a 33 Hz, so be careful. You should know your servo type. The sixth screen is regarding the transmitter. Now over here you will see how your channels are working. If I'm going to use an aileron stick, you will see if I'm tilting it towards right, you will see it happening on the screen. So in case if you are tilting your stick to right and it's going on the left, you need to reverse it from your receiver, from your transmitter. Again, for elevator, nose down, nose up, in case you need to reverse it, do it accordingly. And over here you could see that they are mentioning the servo limits. Usually I have defined in 100. So if I'm going to use my aileron, it will go to, for right it will go to positive 100, and for left it will go to maximum minus 100. Then it's pitch, and this you don't need to define in the software. It automatically reads your transmitter and receiver and mention it on the master terminal. Now I told you that I have set up my flight setups. If you could see setup selection on this switch, if I click it on, you see this is normal mode. So setup selection 1 is used on channel 7. If I turn on the switch, setup 1 is, you see it's blinking the light and the pitch is going because it's idle 1. Again, throttle, I've made all curves 0 so it doesn't spool it up. If I am going to idle 2, third flight setup. So this is 7 channel. Now the last channel is for the gain channel is for your gyro. You can control your gyro percentage on your TX. This you cannot control it over here. So this you can, of course, during flying you can adjust accordingly what type of gain you need. For 450, 60% or 58 or 57 is good enough. Now on secondary gain, if I use this spring switch, you will see that the secondary gain is going towards 60%, as you've seen that I program it accordingly. Now secondary gain during, because I've already set up my flybarless system, this rescue option you need to set it up when going to advanced. We will do it once we go to that menu. After doing that, after seeing if your transmitter is working correctly or not, the sixth screen is for your source type. We are using this source type. This is to check if your source is moving upward or downward. This is from where you will reverse if it's going downwards, or if it's going in any other direction. You need to click this reverse again and again to have that orientation. It should move upward. If some brands have a different situation, the swash moves downward for an upward lift, so you have to mention it accordingly. Here comes the pitch side, very easy. Set up your pitches, the extremes. Once mine is on 12 degree, once you have that, you can accordingly set it up. Again, for a -12, if you want to reduce the pitch, use the minus sign, and if you want to increase the switch, increase the pitch, you can use the plus sign. Again, for the cyclics, for here, for the pitch, collective pitch, you need to have a 12 plus and 12 minus. For idle one, I use for normal flying 0 to 100, 0 to 90. For cyclic pitch, you need to have 10, -10 and +10 on your cyclics. So after doing that, the tail setup, of course, you need to see the orientation of the tail. Again, plus minus for the extreme limit definition. This is throttle output. Kindly check your throttle outputs accordingly, because if the value usually by default is 1000 and it's very low, so when your throttle stick is on mid, this will spool up your heli. You need to increase it a bit, but do it once you remove the blade, because it will spool it. If it will spool up and it will give you an injury. Leave the high part to where it is. You don't need to do that. After finishing it up, you need to set up your flight styles. So I've done it for the basic flying. I've done this setup. I'm using no governor. For idle 1 and idle 2, I'm using governor, because I've switched off my ESC governor mode. It's an 6S setup. I don't want spooling the heli too quick, otherwise it gives my heli jolts. Now for the advanced level, for the advanced option, you can define the channels over here, whichever channels you want to define. Again, this for receiver, you will receive the video of how things are working. If you see that my pitch is going upward, and it was shown here, so it's a pretty much advanced screen for what you have seen in the basic. Now I told you that you can set your rescue mode in the advanced level. So here's the drop-in menu for gain change selection, gain channel selection. Use tail proportional. You will see 3 options. Click on this one, and for the secondary channel action, you can have 2 options, nothing or rescue mode. Click on rescue. Once you do that and you switch your rescue mode, you will see the swatch going upward. This means it's working. This is the receiver. Now coming to the second menu, the second window, it's a channel. If you want to change your